Auditions of the Air.
Metropolitan Opera Auditions of the Air, presented in their 19th season by the American Broadcasting Network in collaboration with the Metropolitan Opera Company. This evening you will hear Martha Stockler of New York City and Robert Kirkham of Memphis, Tennessee, with the American Broadcasting Symphony under the baton of the distinguished Metropolitan Opera conductor Pietro Cimaro. Our host, as always, for these Metropolitan Opera Auditions of the Air is American celebrated music commentator Milton Cross. Now, Mr. Cross.
Good evening. When Robert Kirkham was just 15 years old, his career began in the ensemble of the Memphis Open Air Theater in the city where he was born. Since then, his opera, concert, and oratorio engagements have taken him throughout the East and Midwest, and his studies have been pursued at the Berkshire Music Festival and other places, as well as in Memphis, where he acquired the degree which permits him now to teach music as well as make it. Mr. Kirkham tells us that when he sang Silvio in Pagliacci, he did so in a walking cast, as his leg had been fractured but a few days prior to that engagement. Among his other great moments thus far, he counts his first appearance as soloist with the Indianapolis Symphony, his first major engagement in that field, and he proudly recounts his audition for the Baltimore Civic Opera. He was requested to sing the Amanazzo Aida duet, and a member of the auditions committee there sang the Aida with him. She was that great star of the Metropolitan Opera, Miss Rosa Poncell. Mr. Kirkham has sung Thais and La Boheme for the Baltimore organization, and this season he looks forward to his appearance there as Escamillo in Carmen. Some years ago in Memphis, Mr. Kirkham organized an opera workshop which has grown to become the present Memphis Opera Theater. Now another step forward in an active young career, his appearance here on these Auditions of the Air. The treachery of a false friend has been the motivation of many great moments in theater, among them that which is recreated now. From Verdi's Un ballo in maschera, Robert Kirkham sings the bitter aria, Eri tu. Symphony, Pietro Cimara conducting, Robert Kirkham has sung Airy 2 from Verdi's Un ballo in Maschera. Our young lyric soprano this evening is one of the most traveled of our Metropolitan Opera auditionists. Martha Stotler was born in New York City. From here, she and her family went on to Fayetteville, North Carolina, thence to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thereafter, she spent 8 years in Puerto Rico, returned to North Carolina, and finally back to New York. Italy as well appears in Miss Stotler's itinerary, for she lived and studied there for 2 consecutive years, in place of college, as she tells us, and returned there this past summer for further study. However, all this traveling failed to interfere with a career in music. 12 years of piano have been followed by 6 years of serious voice study. And during her junior and senior years at high school, Miss Stotler attended the preparatory division of the Juilliard School of Music, and it was there that she changed her major emphasis from the piano to voice. Today, her career is being furthered by a scholarship from the Minna Kaufman Rood Foundation. There is music in her family as well, for her grandfather was owner of a music company in Tulsa and appeared as a singer in Cincinnati many years ago with Madame Schumann-Heink. Miss Stotler has sung with several of the tributary opera companies in recital and is currently a church soloist. Both Charpentier's Louise and Puccini's La Bohème deal with young people in Paris, their joys and their tragedies. Of the two, the latter is, of course, the more familiar, and from its well-known score we shall hear a third-act aria filled with tender sorrow. Pietro Cimara conducts as Martha Stotler sings Addio senza rancor from La Bohème.
Solitario di
oasis in the desert with the white walls of a convent in the distance is the setting to which the Cenobite Ataniel brings his courtesan Thais in the third act of Massenet's famous opera. The woman is about to enter the religious life, and the young monk brings water and fruit to her. They exult in their spiritual union in the duet sung now by Martha Stotler and Robert Kirkham, Baigne d'eau mes mains et mes lèvres, bathe my hands and lips with water. From the score of Massenet's Thais, Martha Stotler and Robert Kirkham have sung Baigne d'eau mes mains et mes lèvres, bathe my hands and lips with water, with Pietro Cimara conducting. Jules Massenet's Hérodiade is filled with music typically massenetique, as the French critics put it. Music sensuous and seductive, and at times highly dramatic. Robert Kirkham sings such music now, the Vision Fugitive from Massenet's Hérodiade.
Je pourrais m'adonner en tel rêve, je pourrais la revoir, contempler sa beauté. Divine vanité, en mes regards promise, espérance trop brève qui vient verser mon cœur et troubler ma raison. Ne t'enfuis pas, douce illusion. si dira. Ange mystérieux qui prend toute ma vie, c'est toi que je veux mon amour, mon espoir c'est toi qui peut toute ma te presser dans mes bras, sentir battre ton cœur d'une amoureuse ardeur. Puis mourir enlacé dans une main maîtresse, dans une main maîtresse. Pour cette flamme, serment et sans plainte, je donnerai mon âme pour toi, mon amour, mon espoir vision. Fugitive, c'est toi qui porte oui, c'est toi, mon amour, toi, mon espoir.
Robert Kirkham has sung Vision Fugitive from Massenet's Hérodiade. The third act of Charpentier's Louise contains one of the most tender arias in opera, sung as the little seamstress expresses her happiness over her new life with her beloved Julienne. Martha Stotler sings Depuis le jour.
Depuis le jour où je me suis donnée,
With Pietro Cimara conducting, Martha Stotler has sung the familiar Depuis le Jour from Charpentier's Louise. This is Milton Cross inviting you to be with us next week at this time on most of these same stations for the next of these Metropolitan Opera Auditions of the Air.
You have been listening to the Metropolitan Opera Auditions of the Air, presented in their 19th season by the American Broadcasting Network in collaboration with the Metropolitan Opera Company. This evening, you have heard Martha Stotler of New York City and Robert Kirkham of Memphis, Tennessee, with the American Broadcasting Symphony under the direction of the distinguished Metropolitan Opera conductor, Pietro Cimara. Your host for these auditions of the air is American celebrated music commentator Milton Cross. The Metropolitan Opera Auditions of the Air are written by Ira Marion, coordinated for the Metropolitan Opera Company by John Gutman, produced and directed by William Marshall. Technical supervision, Fred Ripple. Bill Brophy speaking.
This is American, the American Broadcasting Network.